Hello, everyone. We are live. And Joseph just got his Sisig Teriyaki. I am still waiting for mine. But we are live now on our page. Let me double check if we are, since with the quality
Yeah,
of
we are live.
internet, no?
I can see
Yeah, we
it
are live.
now.
Yeah,
Sige, and
please share it.
yeah, please share it. And if you're watching this, thank you for joining us at this 3 p.m. Friday. Last time we also had it at 3 p.m. I guess, Joe, no?
Yeah,
So
this is a better time also. Oh, hopefully
yeah.
for other people. So
So Friday, happy Friday, everyone. This
happy
is the Big
Friday,
Picture
everybody.
podcast, and we are live. Hopefully, you can hop in and join us because this is gonna be an interesting topic and a very yummy topic.
That's right.
Lami na
That's
siya na
right.
topic pagkaon na tong storyaan, no? And also maybe we will do for our audience, we're gonna be speaking a bit of maybe sagol-sagol ni Bisaya or Tagalog or whatever. So hold on to that. But Lenmar, feel free to talk whichever you want, no, for our guests. So today we have our special guest. So let me have Joseph to introduce our guest. Go ahead, Joe.
Thank you, Dave. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted, guys. Our guest just sent me and Dave our goodies, our meal for today, which is we're gonna talk more about. So, guys, our guest for today is give me a second. So our guest for today is a graduate in marketing from the University Southwestern University, and he spent 10 years in as a Japanese car sales supervisor, uh, and then back in 2008, right? He launched
18.
what? Oh, sorry, 2018. Yeah, there you go. Back in 2018, he launched what came to be called Sisig Teriyaki, which is awarded by Unilever Panlasang Pinoy Food Innovation as one of the top 25 recipes for 2019. Ladies and gents, please help me welcome Mr. Lenmar Gonzales. Lenmar, welcome to the big picture.
Hi. Hi, good afternoon, Joe and Dave. It's nice. It's an opportunity for you to have me here. And more power to the Big Picture Philippines. More power to
Yeah.
show.
First things first, Lenmar, I hope all our guests are like you. Definitely, I'm enjoying. My goodness, guys, I can't concentrate. Looking at the camera and smelling the food right here, so delicious. And I tried a little bit of the was it the shomai? Was it shomai? Japanese
it's
shomai?
chow pok. It's a fried
Shop
minced meat or
mincemeat.
fried
Oh,
shomai,
I love this stuff. All
they
right.
call it.
Again, Dave is still waiting for his. But again, again, I've said
No
like
problem.
no, yeah. And then I'm so excited. Number one, because this is what the big picture is all about. It's really about helping one another and really talking about entrepreneurs so that entrepreneurs like you guys, like you and me, can learn from each other and we can all grow together. Okay. And Dave and I would always like this statement, that tide that raise all boats. And we would like the big picture as one of the tides, guys, that will not just encourage you, but give you tips and techniques to grow, to start, grow your business. And this is the reason why we have Lenmar here join with us and, talk about not just Sisig Teriyaki, but his overall entrepreneurial journey. Lenmar, before we proceed, can you tell us more about your story? Because I know I've given the highlights, but we would like to go to the nitty gritty and how you end up becoming like the CEO of this innovative food and product.
Well, first and foremost, let's begin with an end in mind.
Perfect.
So, yeah, business is an art of figuring things out. So that's a skill that every entrepreneur would practice, because if you're figuring things out, you learn to investigate. You'll be a student of learning, and you'll be a problem solution to the problem. So I guess I will be tackling it out later on or elaborate it. But then, yeah, before I before I became an entrepreneur, um, I was a sort of a foodie. When I was in college, when I was very young, I like to watch, Food Network shows, the likes of Bobby Flay and Mario Batali and Ming Tsai. So Gordon Ramsay was not a thing yet before. I may look young, but I'm no longer young. But anyway, there's a show called Personal Chef.
Mm.
So it got my curiosity for that show where the chef would go to the respective homes, and then that's a lady chef. She will ask the owner to, you know let her cook a nice gourmet meal out of the refrigerator, so out of the availability of what's inside the ref. So it's more of a creative thing. You try to make a dish out of what's available. So I got interested on the idea. I copied it. So I checked the refrigerator. I saw a instant noodle and a tomato sauce. So I made a spaghetti out of an instant noodle. So it's like a creative thing. So, and I was in the School of Business Marketing. So my thesis was a personal chef. So I did a personal chef back then. So I was into food, and then after that, I graduated. Of course, I applied for a job. I was a marketing personnel for a restaurant in Japanese restaurant in JY, but unfortunately, the restaurant failed. So I decided to apply for a more stable job. So I end up in IT Park. I applied for actually my friend recommended me with the company. I applied for a sales entry level sales for a Japanese firm who sold cars, and then the headquarters is in Cebu, but then the cars is in Japan. So first months on my sales job, I did well. In fact, I got a rookie of the month, I think, in selling. So I was a people person when I was in college. I have a lot of friends. I go out every weekend, something like that. So I'm more of a people person. So the sales thing is like natural for me. And yeah, I was with the company for almost 10 years before I decided to quit it and try to have a business, a food business. I go back to where I would love, and try to build a name. So in fact, in 2015, I joined Sugbo Mercado.
Yeah.
I was one of the pioneers there. I was selling humba burrito. So it's a creative thing. So it was a humba burrito. It goes well, but it's very tiring in Sugbo Mercado, where uh, you get to install on the tent some things, and after
You have to
midnight,
take it
then
down.
you know take it down. So it's like uh, 3 days or 4 days consecutive. So uh, it was very tiring. So, but at that time, I was still working with the
Mm.
Japanese car sales. So I just tried it,
Hustling
and
day.
yeah, yeah, failed the business, but it was okay. The crowd was okay with the IT Park. Uh, they have the capacity to pay, and
Yeah.
the one thing also in 2017, the company uh, asked me to go to Japan 2017, and I get to check cars in the yard, go in the auction, and after my work, I try my best to dine in to different restaurants there in Japan. So the first thing I had was along the street ramen. So it's a very good. I was in
Yeah.
Fukuoka, the Hakata, where the tonkotsu ramen came from. So I had a
Oh
first
wow.
taste of the real tonkotsu ramen, and it was It was very, it's like a stall, but then the quality of food there is very high. So it's like a street vendor, but their food is like five-star restaurant quality. So yeah, so I was very amazed with that thing. And yeah, every day I tried tempura and something little different. And there's this one restaurant I've encountered, and I saw a lot of people coming in, mostly like younger generation. So it's a rice ball restaurant. I tried it, and then that is the inspiration where I created the Sisig Teriyaki. So
Uh,
I was amazed of the rice bowl, and then there's a you know tender beef on top,
Yeah.
and there's soft boiled egg. It's very simple. It's easy to prepare, and then it's very efficient with the younger generation. Many people are coming in, coming out, and that restaurant is Yoshinoya. So Yoshinoya, I think, is already here in
Yoshinoya.
Cebu,
It is here in
Yeah,
but
it
Cebu.
is.
Yoshinoya in Japan is very cheap, but here in SM is very expensive. So I, I wanted to the feeling of after I ate the gyudon. Gyu is means beef. Don is like rice ball. So
Mhm.
it's gyudon. So it's a donburi. So donburi is a rice ball. They determine it as donburi, but um, beef in Japan is gyu. So that's gyudon is how popular is gyudon is. So anyway, it hit me hard that I can do this. I can bring this to the Philippines. I can make business out of this. But then I try to figure out. There's a lot of figuring out in business. I try to figure out if how will I do this. So when I came back, there's one Saturday evening, I think, I had a drinking session with my friends. And whenever we drink, I always cook for pulutan. So I cook for them, and any dish I what's available. But then it popped up in my mind that I cook like a pork belly sisig.
Yeah.
There's no available like pig's head or pig's ears back then, but what's available is a belly. Then I turn it into sisig, and then I it pops up in my mind that I should make a teriyaki sauce out of it and then mix it, then put
Mm,
a lot of chili. So I let my friends taste it. Then yeah, that's it. So that's the
that's
first
it.
thing. And I tried. Actually, I started very small. I started in the garage selling
Mhm.
the sisig teriyaki. So my customers were the neighbors, and
Right.
it was very big hit with the varsity players in because I my neighbor is Makmak Talyo,
Mm.
so the player. So he asked his co teammates to try this new dish. It's a sisig, but it's more of a humba. It's a sisig, and then it's a combination. So they tried it, and luckily it was a big hit with the neighborhood. And then somebody asked me to, why don't you like bring this outside and try to offer this to mainstream. So I was still working at that time, and then I tried to talk to friends. I figure out some place and where to start the business. But this one friend of mine, his brother owns a like a bookshop or printing shop across San Carlos. So there was an opportunity with a place. So I got a stall. It's just a small stall along the area. So yeah, started 2018, a very small stall, and I was very new. Actually, sisig teriyaki it's a familiar dish, but teriyaki is not very familiar with Cebuano. So
Yes.
it's sort of a very new concept. So my goal is that I would like everybody would try it. It's just a simple goal before. So I would like
Uh,
students to try to taste it. But first I think first days when we were there, there's no customer. There's no customer because students are going for the ngoyong. They go for this the place that they are used to. So
They're used to.
but yeah. So anyway, I tried. So I then figure it out. I figure things out how to make a promo something. I happen to figure out to offer buy one take one promo just to
Yeah.
lure the
Get them
customers.
get
Yeah,
them to try it.
yeah. Let them try it. So
Yeah.
after the promo, somebody from I think from San Carlos noticed it. So she then like buy. Then after she tasted the sisig teriyaki, actually the sisig once you taste it, you get a feeling that it's very comfy. And
Wow.
every time also my customers would taste the product, they always ask if do you do franchise? Because
Mm.
I think that they it's a feeling that they experience that they can see themselves making out of this making business out of sisig teriyaki. So
Mm.
it yeah, every time by the time I grow into a hole in a wall restaurant. So every week there's an inquiry about franchising. They want to sell this. So even before uh, that was that was what the customers always ask. So yeah, after that, instead of giving them franchise, I figure out that I should not give franchise yet. I should study on how to do it.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I
Yes.
attended to like franchising seminars. So there was a one time there's a franchise seminar I attended, and then that franchise agency was the one bringing
Is it
Jollibee
RK?
in the states. Is that our case, Francorp?
Francorp. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Mm.
Francorp, yeah. And then in Francorp, there was this aspiring, Cebuanos in the business for 10 years. And I happened to meet the owner of Tough, Stuart,
Yeah.
Tough Barbers.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he yeah recommended me to, you try to apply or you try to attend DTI KMME. So
Mm.
he is the one referring me to the Kapatid Mentor Me program. So I tried it. I tried to apply, and then luckily I was being chosen because out of many thousand applicants, they only choose 30. So 30 aspiring businessmen because it's for free. The government will pay everything. So with yeah, I had a sort of a sad story with the Francorp because after the seminar, the host is like, yeah, you try to meet in person on how to evaluate your business. Unfortunately, I was being rescheduled, so I was being rescheduled, and just we will just reschedule you some other time, but that didn't happen. So basically, I was turned down at the time. So I just move on and you know um, apply for the KMME program, and luckily I got in. So with KMME, with the other entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, it's a very big help for me because it opened up my mind and you know uh, try to know the not just the basics but the standards in putting up a business.
Business.
So we had a business plan and business presentation. I knew already how to make like your business model canvas
Yeah.
and how
Mm.
to identify your value proposition and something like that. So by the time I graduated, I presented it with the mentors and the panels, the business model of the Sisig Teriyaki. Yeah, every time. In fact, when I presented, I let them taste.
Taste it.
So I let them taste it just like what I did to you right now. So
Ah
I let them taste it and
yes.
get to feel, yeah, get to feel what Sisig Teriyaki is. So I forgot the name of the lady. It was from Chamber of Commerce, I think. Um, she was you mean comparing me as a little McDonald's. So she
Mm.
Wow,
told me
that's
that
nice.
Wow, that's a good
you're
thing to
very
say.
promising. You're very promising, and just take care of your image, and try to focus on what's what the product is. So also Mr. June Exaltacion, I think he is the CEO of Chunishi.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, he was also impressed with the product. So
Mm.
to make the story short, I got a very high grade on my business presentation. So my 2 year plan was to expand another branch and then make it as a franchise model. So that was I graduated like October 2019 for the last
That
year.
was a year ago.
That was a year ago. November, I inducted as one of the members of Cebu Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
and they helped me got in, and then my 2 year plan was to expand one branch and make it as a franchise model. So in by February, I was I expanded in Orhelio. The model was like a takeout corner where I partnered with Food Panda and Grab Food. So
Oh.
even last year, I already like figure out it's not a figuring out. I already figure out because I'm always looking at in for UK, what's the trend in UK, in
Mm.
Singapore. So Uber Eats was very big there. So I tried to figure out what's the local delivery service. So I I I figure out Food Panda and Grab Food at that time. So when I open up the takeout corner in southwestern across southwestern, it was a like a small it's like a yatai. Yatai is a Japanese term for like a small stall, and then it focuses on deliveries and takeout. So February, by March, pandemic, COVID came.
Oh.
So by March, COVID came, and then we do not have an idea how to move forward. I decided to close, even though the store was doing okay with Food Panda at that time, because people are starting to get to know the apps. Even though we are selling good at that time, February and March, I decided to close because I wanted to figure things out, how to what's this virus all about. So in April, um, yeah, we closed for 1 month and a half, I think. So I figured things out on how to like pivot the business. So I was observing things. I wanted to elaborate your marketing message, which is see, think, and act big, right? So
Yeah.
because when I do creativity, I use my eyes and my mind. So I see things. When I see with my eyes, I see things, objects, people, and when I see when I see in my mind, I get to create imaginations, right? And
Mm.
some find answers and solutions. So when my mind and my eyes work together, it creates an opportunity. So what I did is
Yeah.
I used my eyes. I saw this emerging online selling
Yeah.
in the marketplace. So there was
There
people
were
are
groups, right?
yeah, there were
They were
groups,
forming
right?
groups. They were
uh
forming, yeah, this
there were
individuals
there yeah, individuals who are selling this.
selling. Yeah.
And then I figure out um how to be relevant. So I closed for 1 month and a half, I think, and then I decided to open it back. And then before I open it back, I should have a plan. So I
Right.
should pivot my business. So I decided to I contact my artist, and I decided to outline sort of I outlined it sort of the it's a like a an offer. So that's why I created a our tagline there is our business is to build you a business.
Yeah.
So I try to, instead of concentrating on selling, I try to concentrate on building a distribution channel.
Right.
So
Mm.
I try to pivot my business, and because when COVID comes, our time is limited, diba? So um, the open time was like until 6
Yeah.
or 5 p.m., right? So I figured out that time is very limited. So you cannot you cannot do something. You cannot buy time. You cannot add time. So what I figure out is you cannot buy time, but you can add more value, right? So that's
Wow,
that's
yeah, I
that's
love
where
that.
that's where I pivot. I try to identify what value I can give to the marketplace.
Yeah.
So since the customers before are still asking for, I want to franchise, I want to make business out of it. So I try to
Mm.
outline and make an offer to them. So I
So,
contact those people and offer them, why don't you try to distribute this within your barangay or your subdivision?
so
We will
it's you.
supply
It's
you,
like
and yeah,
yeah. What you're saying is like you created a way for other people to earn in the
yeah,
pandemic, kind of give them an opportunity, so it becomes a
Wow.
win-win situation for you, the business
yeah,
owner, and for other people who also aspire to become, to have a business like yourself. But I would imagine, Lenmar, no, na this model is, I would say, this model is a little bit different than the franchise model,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
it's probably easier. The entry point is probably easier for
easier.
small businesses,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, because a lot of people are also like thinking what type of business they're gonna go in. So can you talk a little bit now about like the three business model that you have, and just very quickly, like how, what's the, I would say, what's the rationale why you built those
Yeah.
three things, and then what is the, I would say, like the cost, I would say,
Yeah.
for each. Yeah.
So while I figured out things at home, so I just wanted to inspire people. So because I have this mentality of falling in love with the idea of helping people over and over again. So
Wow.
by the time we
Yeah.
we get back to business, we were donating to hospitals. So we were inspiring people. So I tried to inspire people. I tried to like help them in every way. So donations are coming in. So for, like, I think when we come back June or July, we always like giving free foods to frontliners. In fact,
Mm.
we had given like almost 3,000 Sisig Teriyakis to every hospitals. And then yeah, by that time people were inspired. And then but the our business is to build you a business thing was already been cooking with my artist. So we have a sort of a poster. So by that time I offer it in the marketplace. I try to ask the people if you're interested. And then from that thing I also created a very irresistible offer. So
Wow.
that's why it grows
What was it?
you know easily. The price, I just gave
Ah.
a 10,000 package, very affordable.
Yes.
And within the 10,000 package you have a free 12 kilos of sisig teriyaki.
Yeah.
One box is composed of 6 kilos. Then I'm giving them two boxes. But then one box,
Mm.
the gross sales for one box would bring you to 5,500 to 6,000. So if you come to think of it, if the two boxes would be sold out,
Very
they'll
good.
be like No, it's not like that. They already you know
More
Earn.
than
claim
more than
or
paid it.
yeah gain the
Yeah.
10,000. It's more
Yeah,
than 10,000, right?
yeah. This
And
is
the
12, right?
succeeding box, is just lesser than 2k. So when you order
Mm.
again, we will give it to you less than 2k. So actually the
That's good.
profitability, the
This
margin
this
is
model ba?
yeah,
Lenmar, no, this model
yeah.
is very familiar. I think it's like what it's kind of like the parang networking ba, if I should say, no, na they give you this at a
Uh,
premium price, parang wholesale deal. Sakto
you
ba?
know what?
Na you
You know what? I'm familiar with network marketing. That's networking.
uh,
I'm not one of the members, but I see them, scamming people. So you know what? I just yeah, practically I use the strategy, but in a legit
Oo.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a
yeah,
legit way.
exactly, no?
Yeah,
Na because
and
you
and
you buy
also
wholesale.
yeah,
Mm.
I figure things out if somebody is doing this thing. So actually, I found one.
Mm.
Chooks to go is doing this. Chooks to
Oh,
go
wow. Ah.
is approaching barangays. They have a tagline that gawing tindahan yung tahanan.
Mm.
It's like that. Gawing
Yeah.
tindahan
Ah.
yung tahanan. It's a
So
chooks to go strategy on reaching out to less fortunate people or the barangay. So that's what I did. I instead of there's no other way in pandemic. You
Mm.
cannot sell exponentially because people are the economy is down, or people have no confidence in buying. So the best way is, since I am an essential,
you
people
can
would
move
eat
around.
food every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people tend to cook in their homes. But then if you are selling within your subdivision, and the people, the customer knows you, the tendency is they would buy from you, right? So
Yeah.
Mm.
that's the thing. So I
So this
yeah,
is the home channel, no? The
that is
distribution.
the
This
that
is
is that is the home channel, and
yes, the home
and the,
channel. We
that's the
have
home
also
channel
another
distribution.
one,
Another
the
one is the
store
store
channel.
channel. The store channel is they
Yeah.
have existing stores, but then I try to approach them. These stores have already sisig, so they sell
Mm.
sisig. So I talk to them that you know I have this existing offer to make. You have a 90 to 100% profit out of this thing, and you don't need to you know prepare it for yourself. It's a pre-marinated, so instead of sisig is
Mm.
a very you chop a lot,
Right.
so
So
it's very tiring.
it's tedious
It's
to prepare.
tedious, yeah, to
So
prepare.
for the
So
shops, it's a good deal. Basically, they
yeah,
will save time to
basically it's a
prepare.
good deal, and actually uh, they were my competitor. So I collaborated instead of
That's
making
really cool.
competition out of it.
If you
Yeah.
can't beat them, join
So
them.
Join
join them.
you.
So I think they knew already Sisig Teriyaki, but I'm the one approaching them. I had a proactive game or strategy
Mm.
to like collaborate with them. I will give up my profit. We will share it. We will share, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you know what? Uh, when people get to taste Sisig Teriyaki, they will honestly they will tell that it's the best in town right now. So
Yes,
I'm ready
I'm
to
eating.
that
try.
is
I'm
why
ready to
I'm
try.
trying
I
to help
can't
them.
wait to try.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Lenmar, let me just say,
it's a
sorry, Lenmar, let me just say, I really like how you think with respect to, and one of the things coming into the interview, Lenmar, one of the things that I'd like to know is how did you in the industry that you're in, is able to transition your business, because this is my understanding is this is a 2-year business that you form, and for sure you have a lot of plans for 2020, like any
yeah, yeah,
businessman,
yeah.
a lot of plans, and you have to scrap that down and say, hey, let's go back to the drawing board and close. You actually close for 1.5 months. So I really like your thinking. What in this? So you mentioned three things, like the franchise model, the store model, and the home model. Or you call
Yeah.
it the home channel,
I
right?
know.
There's three different channels, right? So which one of this is really working well now for you?
Actually, these people, it's a two kind of idea. So these people are have no businesses before. They are
Mm.
all almost all of them are home channels, but I am guiding
I
them
see.
how to make a store. So that is why
Ah,
the
I
difference
like that.
between franchising is, if you franchise with Sisig Teriyaki, you use Sisig
Supply rack.
Teriyaki supply lang, di ba?
No.
But if you are a store channel, I coach them to build your own name, because they aside from sisig teriyaki, they can add in
They're
a lot
selling
of like
something else.
selling something else.
Ah,
Like you have your
wow,
own
huh?
you have your own flavor. Like once in Guadalupe, I would like to commend MC Master Cocinero. They are
Master
more on
Cusero, comment
yeah,
here.
they are more on like the desserts thing, and they have home
Yeah,
cooked
Slay.
meals. So aside from sisig teriyaki, they sell mango tapioca, macaroons, and
Ah,
yeah, and also
this is
they
interesting, Lenmar. I'm gonna share
yeah
get a point of this guy. This is not like you're not building a restaurant per se, no. You're building a product. Let's say a ketchup ba
yeah
na you use
Yeah, yeah,
example,
I
di
get what
ba?
you're saying.
yeah
Like
yeah
Yes.
a papa papa ketchup
yeah
example lang, because anyone can use a papa ketchup, di
UFC
ba?
UFC
Parang yeah, UFC, all right, something like that. So it's great. It's
yeah
really interesting because you're not competing at all. It's even good if
no
you're
no
if these people are parang if you're thinking about it, if people has their own sisig na, no problem. You can have mine. So this is a
yeah
really good mod. This is actually a unique model, Joe. I think this is one of the first time I've
It is. It is. It is the
heard.
first time I've heard of this. Just a
yeah
comment, Dave and Lenmar. No, I just took a bite of this thing,
how
and
was
I'm so
it
he
shy
can't he can't
to eat in
resist.
front of the camera, but I
how
love
was
it.
it
It's great. I love it. I like the spiciness. This after you eat, there's like a level, and then it smells like humba for some reason. I don't know. There's
sweet
that.
there's a sweet thing like
Yeah,
reminiscence of humba.
I like it. Yeah, it made me go back to that the most delicious homba I've tasted, and then at the end of it, there's this feeling of spiciness, a
Japanese.
kick of a Japanese kick of spiciness. I love it. I love it. I want to eat some more and step out from the call right now.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
Also, yeah.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go
with
ahead.
what Dave was saying, uh how did I make this work? Because yeah, as what I said earlier, it's a lot of figuring things out. So
Yeah.
if you have the ability to figure things out, you will know the solution, you will be creative, and you will be a student of learning. So
I
I
love that.
might advise, how do I do it. I have my daily routine at night. I have my contemplating time. So if your mind is like doing a high frequency waves, you cannot think of any creative, 'di ba? So if you are in a calm muna siya if you need time and space is very important siguro sa for entrepreneur. Time to
For
think, time to
entrepreneurs, huh?
contemplate, yeah,
Reflect.
because time to reflect. And you just see with your eyes, see some things, observe what's happening, and then after that you see it with your mind. You think of some ideas, because I think imagination is important than knowledge,
Wow, yeah.
because
Agree.
some
Agree.
people,
Einstein said
yeah,
that.
right, Einstein said that. And
Yes.
if there's a saying that if you learn, if you I want to call this, don't let your learnings become your knowledge, right? You will become a
Mm.
fool, because it's all knowledge, it's all there in your mind, but then you let your learnings become your actions, so you will become successful. So what you learn, you should need to make an execution plan for it, and not just like brag things that I have this plan, I have this, but there's no execution plan. So it takes
Mm.
for you to have an ability to figure out things before you can do it. So that's what drives
Yeah,
me most.
I'd
So
like to
I
add.
have
I'd
this
like to add to that,
ability
Lenmar.
even before when I was a supervisor. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'd like to add to that because
yeah, yeah.
there was a
What is it?
time you mentioned no na in the KKM, what was that, the mentorship
Mentor me.
program, di ba? You
KMME.
you KMME.
Yeah,
You actually ask the right people because this is a common pitfall, di ba? Maraming tao na they fall for this because they have an idea, it's really good, but then they ask someone who is not in business, di ba?
yeah,
Who is not a restaurant or has not tried opening up a
yeah, yeah,
restaurant. Yeah, and I think that's a good tip to everyone, and I
yeah.
think you shared it in your story earlier now. Now, ask people who are actually in the business, not just those who has no idea what it is, because they will automatically say no. Na ayaw na, pangit yan or whatever, right? So you had your imagination, but you also asked it to the right people, right? So
Yeah.
having it to that, yeah. Go ahead with that other
Yeah,
point that you're
because
saying.
because if you're figuring things out, you investigate, right? If you
Mm.
investigate, you discover facts and information. So if you gather facts and information, then which person to ask, right? But back then in college, I had also a mentor. Um,
Oh wow.
he was his business was like booming, and I was very close to him, and in fact, every Saturday back then we have a drinking section on the garden of his restaurant. So,
Uh,
and one wisdom that I got from him is, you should serve high quality food with a like 5-star quality food on a 2-star price. So, but then
mm.
he had a very good ribs, product. But I think right now it's doing very good. The restaurant is doing very good. This is Casa Verde. So
Oh,
the owner of the Casa Verde was my teacher, my boss
Oh yeah.
before. So we
uh,
had a like a sort of a meeting almost every week in the Ramos branch. So
Mm.
there was it was a just a one branch. So I got from him that is why if you get to taste Sisig Teriyaki, you get a feeling of like it's very social pero dili mahal. Yeah, that's
Yes.
the feeling of how they got it. So that was
social pero dili
that
mahal.
was my first inspiration. I don't know where is Sir Victor Noel. The name was Victor Noel. Right now, his like nephews are handling the business, I think.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you have a really good role model because for those who are not from here in our beautiful island called the Cebu, Philippines, Casa Verde was I would say the first shop, the first restaurant that offers prime ribs, and
yeah,
I would say it's like it's a really good in a really good reasonable, more than reasonable price. You know what I'm saying? Like and I still remember going to that Ramos area,
yeah,
and I had to line up just to get a table. And
yeah,
for
Yeah.
Cebuanos to do that, because we're the type of people here in the Philippines that very hard to please and very picky with price and flavor. Um,
Yeah.
so for people to do that, I mean that says a lot of things in terms of quality, and just wonderful that you have this real role model. Lenmar, I really learned a lot from your story, and it's great that you're very detailed, coming in and all the learning along the way, and there's a lot of things to pick up. Dave, would it be great, Dave, if you and I can kind of like talk about like two major learnings from what Lenmar has shared?
Yeah, I think it would be great, and we can share it with everyone, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can ask Lenmar if he agrees as well.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead, Joe. Go ahead
Lenmar,
with
yeah.
yours.
So one of the
okay.
things, and you so for me, a couple of things. One is, just this art. I'll call it an art of just paying attention to what's really going on. One of the things that you said is you have to step back during the pandemic, and for you guys who are starting a business, it's super important to step back, because if you feel like you're in the middle of it all, and it's so hard. It's so hard to be creative. So just stepping back and just paying attention on what's the thing that's gonna make, I would say that's gonna help your business move forward. And one of the things that you've shared, Lenmar, was this thing that's going on online, and just this observation of homes becoming, I would say, semi stores or restaurants now on distribution channel. That's one thing I really like. And the second thing that I think would help is, your attitude of just, I would say, approaching things in a different angle.
Yeah.
Franchising has been there, but then you have this home model. I mean, my goodness, like, and then I thought that I know what a store channel is, but then when you said like, hey, these are my competitors, and I'm actually working with them, that's just blowing my mind right now. I'm like, my goodness, yeah, you're absolutely right. So for you guys who are starting a business, and this is one of the reasons why we're doing this at the Big Picture podcast. For you guys who are starting a business, think differently in terms of how you approach it. It doesn't have, where you so used to this, Lenmar and Dave, I always talk about this. We're so used to this sari mindset. We're in and one home builds a sari, and the next neighbor would build another sari in one
This
block.
is the same with the laundry, John, or laundry shop.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
one
and this
laundry
is idea. This is the idea. But what you're saying, Lenmar, is like I'm gonna help you build your business, but at the same time you're being helped. So this is really a win-win. That's one of the things that I feel
Yeah.
like our audience can take. There's a lot, of course, but that's for me. That's the thing. How about you, Dave?
And to add on to that, no, Lenmar, it's like you have there are laundry shops out there. Why not sell the detergent? Diba? Parang
Right.
that's how I get it, right? So you're the one who's gonna be the tide. You're gonna supply everyone with this wonderful deal. I think it's a really good model,
Uh,
interesting
Dave, you
model.
hit it.
actually, there's
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lenmar.
Yeah, go ahead, Lagsha.
yeah, actually, there's one store channel who is a laundry shop. Laundry shop, yeah.
Ah.
He's turning his laundry shop into a laundry shop cafe. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
There you
I
go.
also,
Grabe, no?
yeah.
Grabe.
I also. It's Pandure. It's in Cabantan. So, you guys from Cabantan, check out Pandure Sisig shop. So anyway,
Yes.
um, yeah, I used to like. I consider myself as a playing coach. So some are coach only, but I used to be a basketball player when I was a kid. So
Ah, di ba?
I consider myself as a playing coach. I see to it that every player gets to touch the ball, and they have the higher percentage shot. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing right now.
You're a
I'm
player.
giving them the ball, and and they have a higher profit out of it. And then what's good about the business is, for these channels, they have very good feedbacks regarding the product. Pinakalami, lahi ra daw, or something like that. And it's a feeling
Yes.
of contentment when you're doing a business, right? So you, instead of giving them a food, you are giving them value, right? It's a
Mm,
value for the money. So if you
yeah.
concentrate on that area, I think you'll be good.
That's a good. Yeah, and we can talk forever with you, Lenmar, no? But we're approaching our 1 hour mark here. Di lang natin kita yung time, but hopefully our listeners are still with
Time
us.
flies.
And yeah, and one thing that I learned from you, Lenmar, and I'd like to point out to everyone listening and watching this right now, is that I've actually discussed this earlier when I was talking to a group of Carolinian students earlier this morning. What we
Oh,
call the
public speaking, my friend.
Pygmalion
Okay.
theory. If this is the first time you heard about this Pygmalion theory, this is what that someone in Glenmar mentioned in his story. Now he said that he's the McDonald's, a seed of potential. You know what I mean? So that is Pygmalion theory in action. It means that you live up to the expectation. I doubt na you wouldn't be as where you are now, Lenmar, no, with your currently figuring it out, always a fighter, no. If that person did not tell you that, because that will stick to your mind and you will live to it, to that expectation. So today, I just want to share to everyone. Now, if you're a business person, if you're someone who's someone looking up to you, be careful with that, because you could actually make people live up to whatever you expect them to be. So I think to grow this economy of business people in the Philippines in general, no, I would say we need this now. We need people actually helping you and giving you the best expectations that yes, all of us can succeed. All of us can find a win-win solution. And I think that's a good wrap, Lenmar, because we're gonna move on to what we call our lightning round.
Okay, so
Lenmar, this is
until we
yeah.
can pay for the sound effects, we're gonna keep on doing that.
Yeah, this
What is this all
Lenmar is a
about?
really quick lightning round. Mura siya og you answer or the questions as fast as you can. You know, we're gonna give it to you in a lightning fashion, and you can just
Is
answer
this a
as
Boya
quickly
Bunda or a
as.
Chris Aquino thing?
Combination.
Don't worry, combination ito.
Combination na. Sige, sige.
Sige.
Dave will be boy, I'll be Chris.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay,
just
so
kidding. Lenmar,
so
yeah,
Lenmar, my first question.
Go
First
ahead,
question, who or what inspires you?
Well, right now, the it's a blessing. My for the first time for 10 years, my wife is pregnant because of COVID.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations,
yeah,
my
so
friend.
that's a very
Yeah, it's a blessing,
good
no?
blessing. Yeah, good blessing.
Yeah.
And also there are three inspirations. First is my family. Second is I think God has been given me has been blessed. I've been blessed with God, so my faith is there. And the third one right now is my channels. So these
Yes.
people, these are my inspiration. Whenever they get to succeed, so I'm very inspired what they're doing right now. So that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, next
Well,
question, Joe.
well said, Lenmar. My next question is, you mentioned about routine. Like, what are the routines that you have to keep yourself motivated, active, and sharp?
I used to play basketball, but now wala tigulang na. But then right now I'm like doing mental exercise. So every night I get to listen because I stopped watching TV for 2 years.
Wow.
What I did is I go
Even
to
Netflix?
no, I don't watch movies anymore. So
Oh, wow.
I go
You're
to
missing a lot.
YouTube.
Just kidding, my friend.
I go to YouTube and then scroll some inspirational or speakers or some mentors. I use IG. Sisig Teriyaki followed like business mentors in IG. So that's what I'm doing right now to keep me like to keep figuring things out. So
Awesome.
let's keep on learning.
Dave?
Yeah, so here's another question. Do you consider yourself successful, Lenmar?
Not yet, because my goal is every Cebuano deserves a sisig teriyaki. So whether the place is, if there is a Cebuano, there should be a sisig teriyaki.
My goodness, I
Wow.
like that goal. We should have something like every Cebuano, Dave, needs to listen to the Big Picture podcast.
Yes, we should have that.
Yeah.
That's gonna keep us going. Thank you, Lenmar, for sharing that. One more question for me. No, a couple of more questions for me, but this is the second to the last one. What resource? So I noted. So you said you're scrolling through Facebook and IG. What resource? You don't watch TV, so like resource or channel or book that you can recommend to our viewers and listeners right now?
In IG, I followed Dan Lok.
Yeah.
He is a Canadian Chinese. He's a brilliant man. I always check what's going on with him. And with YouTube, I'm an old fan with Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor. So
I
any
love Jim Rohn, my friend.
the voice of Jim Rohn is very soothing, and it can bring away stress. And also Bob Proctor, the paradigm shift with Bob Proctor.
Yeah. Dave and myself, we're I don't know if you're familiar with Bob's work, Dave, but I know like both of us know so much about the content of Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but I used Bob Proctor's paradigm shift when I conceptualize the channels. So I instead of concentrating on like selling, I concentrated on building distribution
Messages.
channels. So
Awesome.
I just
Yeah.
shift the perspective.
Yeah, go ahead and check those out, guys. It will be in our show notes, definitely. The big picture that ph slash 75. Oh, four pa day. Four.
74.
74. Yes, and so my next question, Lenmar, and this is my last question of the day for the day. We have a lot of, we started this podcast. There were a lot of, we're targeting sana yung mga OFW who are far from home, or those people who are actually stuck in a job or in a profession that they not naturally love or passionate about, or maybe they lost it today, especially during the pandemic, no? So what is your advice for these people na who are struggling right now? What is your best tip for them?
Well, for people who are trying to go into entrepreneurship, trying to
Yeah.
build a business, my advice is first is you identify the industry that you're good at. So whether broadcasting or food industry, so you should identify first, and then after that, you create a relevant product. So your product should be relevant. You should be updated
Mm.
because some people are like, they are I'm sorry, if you are a nurse or something, they are a nurse and then they do like other stuff. So you should concentrate on what's you're good at. I'm very a fan of that. And after that is this is more important to develop your skills, because some people are very intelligent but they don't know how to do things, right? So skill set and mindset is very important. You should try to ask for mentors or look for
Yeah.
coaches. And it's a simple thing. You start small, you think big, and you spread fast. If you don't know how to do it, then go figure it out.
Start
Thank you.
small,
Thank you.
think big, spread fast. Amazing.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
like
Joe.
that, Lenmar. Lenmar, this is the last question. I just want you to know that, guys, I just finished my first.
During the
How was it?
interview.
I can't wait.
You tried the other stuff.
I will.
The
It's
shawarma.
it's great. I'm so full, and I haven't even finished the other two. So this is definitely great. And according to in line with your vision of having every Cebuano eat this, how can people
Yeah.
reach and find more about Sisig Teriyaki or about yourself? What's the fastest way to get there?
Yeah, if they want to build their home store,
Or do you want to build their
yeah,
home store? Yeah.
Yeah,
how
yeah,
can we reach you?
yeah. You can reach me on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We don't have a website. Facebook page and Instagram, and then the number is there. And also, I will comment later the poster, the the poster of offering the store channel. So
Yeah.
they can message directly the page, and I
Yeah,
will
what's the
reply
page,
immediately.
Lenmar?
It's Sisig Teriyaki
Sisig
FB
Teriyaki,
page.
yes.
Yeah,
Just search it on
ju-
Facebook.
search it on Facebook, and then
And
they will
yung
just
Chikala
inquire
din.
there.
It's a
Chikala,
different page.
it's a different page. It's another concept. I'm also
Yeah.
building also right now a chicken choy.
Yeah.
Chicken choy is like
What's that?
Lamig,
a
ito na.
it's a KFC experience, but it's being like sell on the streets, because right now the street chicken has only patis like toyo and soka, but I'm building this with gravy. The gravy is like KFC or something like that. It's a restaurant style chicken, but
Mm.
sold on the streets. So it's a concept I will try to
You're,
build.
you're fulfilling you're fulfilling really that line. You're gonna be the next McDonald's. I'm so excited for what's next for you. Lenmar, thank you so
Yes.
much for being here, and also like the food for the next guest. I'm putting
Yeah.
pressure on you guys. Lenmar is putting pressure on you guys.
We'll have more restaurants coming in.
Yeah, it should
The
have. We should
Casa
have like
Verde
coffee
owner.
shop.
And all that.
Just kidding,
Yeah.
just kidding. But Lenmar, thank you
Just
so much
kidding.
for the food, and also for sharing us your knowledge. all of it super gold. If you just catch us very late, no, during the live, for those who are watching now, and we're about to finish basically, please watch the replay and do a hashtag replay for those who are watching the replay, so that we will know that you're watching the replay. And Lenmar, thank you so much again. Really
Thank you, guys.
appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Yes, so I think that's about it, guys. Do check out our show notes once it comes out. You can find all the links there and also all the good things happening to the big picture. So don't forget to like our page. And if you are an Apple user, please give us a rating and a review so that we become, again, the rank one. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Of the Philippines podcast.
We
No,
lost,
so we're,
one round, so we're gonna get it back.
yeah,
Yeah,
so go ahead and give us a ratings and review if you like this, of course. What was that, Joe?
Awesome. No, I was gonna say we're gonna be here live again next week, and
Yes.
I don't know who's our guest, but is it gonna be 3 o'clock, Dave, or 4 o'clock?
Yeah, we'll try to get them around 3 p.m. So most of them. So
Okay.
yeah, if you are someone who is a business owner who wants to get to be here, share your word. I think we have a good community already with
Yeah, we have a good
with,
following.
with you, Lenmar, and if you know anyone, by the way, with your KKM, no, with your
KMM.
mentor KM.
KMME.
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 KMME. Jumbo,
KMME, please.
you should get
yeah,
Jumbo.
Jumbo, we'll get him.
Jumbo.
He is yeah, we'll try to vary
And
because
Chef
we
Binox. Chef
food
Binox
ngayon.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Chef
Binox
is our good
is
friend.
A TBP friend.
Yeah,
For a long
he's
time.
been with us.
Yeah, since
so-
I think almost since we started, right, Dave?
Yeah, he was with us with those interviews with Bunny, Sir
Bunny.
Bunny, and all the So
Yeah.
I think that's it for us today. This has been a fun and flavorful afternoon. I can't
Yeah.
wait to eat mine right now. And guys, please subscribe. Go check us out. If you like this, share this, please, and tag us, tag Glenmar, tag Joseph, tag me. We have our Facebook pages and Facebook groups, so please join us there. And by the way, just a little update. We're gonna have more updates with the website. Joe is gonna somehow release some courses later on. So watch
you're
out for
gonna
those.
release courses also.
Yeah. And Michael, we're collaborating with Michael, one of our past guests, Michael Uy, a common friend of us, Lenmar.
Yeah.
And also, we're gonna have an app soon. So if you want
Oh,
to learn
yeah.
more about that, yes, we're gonna do
We're-
that app, a
We're
productivity
doing a
app.
lot. We're doing a lot of good
We're
things.
doing a lot moving forward. Yes.
Okay.
So that's it for me. I think that's a wrap. This is Dave.
This is Joe, and that's Lenmar saying goodbye for now.
Lenmar.
Gents.
Bye bye, guys. Thank
Bye,
you for
guys. Thank you.
watching us.